Okay, so we are back at it again. Okay, so I was talking about the plumbing, cold water. Okay, so the previous video we went from the parking water. Let's go back to the parking. Going to parking, and this is the roof plan. So we're in the parking area, and we need to go up to the roof with this cold water. And we need to supply cold water to these two bathrooms. Okay. So we got from the cold water basement or parking area, and we go up, and we came out here. Okay. So we went through that exercise. Now, what you have to do in the real world, okay, you have to get from this pipe, and I need to supply water to these two bathrooms. Now, how do I get from A, let's call this A, to B? Okay. So we already routed from the parking garage up to the roof level. Now, how do we get over to this to these two bathrooms? And by the way, let me turn on the plumbing. This is let's turn on the plumbing model, and there's a water heater that's gonna go on this wall. Okay, and these are the from the sample project. Okay, from the sample project, and I need to put a water. This is a water heater. So let's do this. And I'm going to tab, and as you can see, that's the Architects Snowden Tower sample plumbing. That is a tankless water heater. So so I need the water heater to heat water for these two lavatories. And what I'm going to do, let's turn that off. I'm going to undo this and type here just water, and we can see what we have. And down here is the water. Now I can't, when you're looking at this, when you're searching for information in your project browser, what I've noticed is that you can drag over views. Okay, let's say I wanted to open up a view like this view. I can double click. That's what it is. So I can double click this view, and it will open. So let me close that. But what makes sense is that if I want to drag this water heater over, okay, it's not letting me. And so for some reason you can double click on a view, and it will open. But you can't drag over families, because I think because there's more than one type of family. You know, I don't know if you guys are aware of, there are certain types of families that come in with, let's say, a type catalog, okay, where you have an option from a 1-inch type of family to a 2-inch, and there's a list. Okay, so I think that the reason that you can't drag in your family is because there are going to be several options. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at this. When you search for information, you can double click on a view, but you can't drag your family over. Once you have your family that you see in your project browser, you have to go back to this. You reset the button, and it will go to that particular family. Okay, and let's say I had this tankless water heater that's 1.6 gallons, right, or 1 gallon. So there would be 3 options. So it goes to the let's call it the parent, right? These are the parents, and these are the child, right? And so I think that's the reason you can't drag over. So anyway, that's my take on it. So we have the water heater, and I'm going to go over and bring it into about right there. Okay, so that's the water heater that I'm gonna need for these two water closets. Now, in the meantime, I need to figure out how am I gonna get over from this point over to these two bathrooms. So what I'm gonna do is turn on, there's a mechanical model, okay? So you have to be aware of that, and you have to be aware of structure. But in the structure, you can look at structure more in terms of on your section views. You can do it in plan view, but you have to do it in a like a type of wireframe type option. Okay, so let me turn this. I'm going to say OK to this, and we can see that everything looks good. If I go from here over. Okay, so looks like all of the information is we're clear of the information. If I want to get from here to there, there might be an issue up in here, but I don't, because I'm below. I know I'm not going to go into the ceiling space of the roof has a ceiling space, right? Okay, so if this was on a third or a floor that's below a floor that's above, then if you're under, then you're not going to go in the ceiling space supplying your fixtures. Okay, so I'm going to undo this. Okay, and I'm going to come over, and let's look at my section. Let's get a reference so I know where I'm going when I get there, or before I get there. So that's where we are. And as you can see, there's these are what, web? Okay, these are angle webs, okay. So, and this is probably some type of a beam. I'm gonna go here, W shape, okay. That's the structural framing, okay. So we are gonna go below that and see what happens. So I'm gonna go here, that looks like it's probably a ceiling. There's a floor below, and I'm gonna get as close as I can to that web joist. What was it? Let me go back. I want to find out what that was again. W shape, okay. It's more or less an I-beam. Was just a little different configuration in here. So let's go here, and I'm gonna go over. Let's drag over. I don't know how far, but we're gonna see now. Okay, so that's the view. So we're not over far enough, it looks like. So I'm gonna do that and just shift and use my arrow key to bring over the section. We're still in view. So now, how far over and how far up, we're gonna go to the fixture or the target. Well, I'm gonna go here first. Let's go. I'm thinking maybe I should go, well, let's get the pipe over first. Okay, so that's, and I'm gonna say okay to this, and I need to change the pipe type to PVC. I'll probably end up changing that to PVC. Do I change it to hot water, cold water, different types? It depends. It depends on your office standards. I'm not going to go into the different types of, I guess it would be options or nuances that you would use for your pipe types. It depends on your office standards, okay? Because you can make this however you want. For me, I've separated my sanitary waste and my vent PVC, okay? So I could do the same for hot water and cold water, PVC. But in practice, it might be cast iron, it might be copper tubing, it might be PVC, okay? So I'm using what Revit gives me because all of the fittings seems to work with PVC in this for Revit. So I'm gonna go here and go here. Cold water, that's not gonna work, okay. That's good. What size is this? 2 inch. That's not cool. What's going on? That's too big. 1 inch. What size is this? So 1 inch. Okay. Why would that come out to be a 2 inch? Say okay. I need this to be PVC. Domestic cold water. PVC, and system type is going to be cold water. So we go here. I'm going to go here and about right here, because I know that I'm above, so I'm going to need to go down. I don't know how far, but I'm going to go down, let's say 10 feet. So the middle elevation, I'm changing that elevation to -10. Okay, I got a -10. And let's apply that -10, and you see the elbow going down. Let's do this. I want to look at this. Where are we? Here. Okay. And here. Okay, so that's where we are. Let's look at this a little bit closer. Let's go here. Let's move this out some and then down. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm just kind of playing around just to get a feel for what's happening. The water closets, where's my lavatories? Higher? Yes. Okay, so you see, they're setting up higher. Okay. Let's go back. Where am I? So I am going to, so you can look at you. So you see here, it's gonna have an outline on the roof plan of this section, this 3D section. You see that? That's what it's covering. So I can control it here also. I can go back. That's not very user-friendly, huh? It's kind of, there's a lag in the drag. There's a lag in the drag. So if I go up and just let go, okay. So I go up and let go. Okay, so I go back, it's still showing, but I have more of a conservative view. Let's go back. So now what I need to do is look at these 2 points, this point and that point, and connect the two. Let's make sure that nothing is in my way here. Okay, and let's make sure that all of my HVAC on, HVAC and structures on. And as you can see, there's no HVAC looking at this, because I'm only looking at the pipe, and what is that, 2 inches, 3 inches? Let's do a detail line from here to there. What's it, a little more than 3 inches. Okay, so you're looking at this section view that's 3 inches on both sides, and there's nothing there, which is good, which is what we want. Let's go back to the floor, to the roof plan, and look at these 2 points. Okay, so I want to come down. Okay, let's do this. Let's come all the way over. So I know I'm overshooting, okay? Because I'm gonna need to get to this water heater anyway. Well, maybe I could get to the water heater after I get in here and then go over. That might work. So let's go back and connect these two. I'm gonna rotate this guy in place, okay? Let's rotate it in place, and we are going to go 90 degrees, and let's take a good look at these two guys. I'm keeping the view tight, because whatever's on the other side of these, that's fine. Which is what I want. You know, I want to keep the interferences at a minimum. So let's go back to our section and see what we got. Okay, so here's our pipe. We got our pipe here. Let's drag it up. I'm gonna drag it up. And what happened? Draw a pipe. Okay, can draw a pipe. Okay, so now looks like we're good. It looks like there's something here, but I'm not going to worry about that. The contractor can take care of that. It's so small, it's probably just barely touching it, and I can move it back and forth, here, however they're going to do it. It's not like it's going through a fan or anything like that. Okay, so I usually don't worry about stuff that's very trivial. It looks trivial to me. It may not be, but looking at, it's a 1-inch pipe, okay? So it's not going to be, it's not like it's a 6-inch pipe going through a utility fan, or a fan coil or something like that, okay? So something's going on. Maybe they won't even have this sanitary sewer like this, okay? So looks like it's going through that beam also. But I'm not going to worry. I don't like that. That looks like it's going through a beam. I have to look at that later. So anyway, so let's get back to this plan. Let's see. So this is the pipe that we need to connect to, and it's the middle elevation of -3, 2. What I'm going to do, you can go over and you can copy and paste these coordinates, okay? So I'm going to copy this to the clipboard and look at this pipe and replace that and cut and paste, Control V, so it can move up. Okay, now I know that it's at the same elevation. And all I have to do now is go to my 3D view, look at this guy, and make the connection. Let's go over some. Do we go over? Yeah, there we are. Okay, so that's our connection, and it's going back over to the riser. That part is going back over to the riser and then down to the parking lot here. Okay, so at this point, what I can do is modify it and fill it here, because I know it's at the same elevation. And so we're going up. We're going to we're going to supply our water closets, okay? And let's go back to our floor plan. And our water closet here, where are we? We are here. We can connect, say okay to this, up here, PVC, yes. And I'm going to say yes to that. Okay, so now we have a connection and we can continue. We can go over and supply our lavatories, and I'm going to go, let's see, I'm still below the floor. Well, no, I'm up. Somehow I need to get over to from point A to point B again, okay? But for now, I think I'm going to stop here, guys. I hope that helped, okay? I hope that helped. So when you're doing this type of work, a lot of times I see that there's a lot of videos showing plumbing and how to input fixtures, families, but there's a critical part of your work that's going to involve getting the pipe from point A to point B, whether it's there might be a air handling unit on the roof, right, where you need to supply, or you get your condensate from your air handling unit, and how are you going to get that condensate down to the ground, right? So a lot of this work has to do with studying your architecture drawing, knowing where your HVAC is, right? Where your structure, how's your structure relative to your pipes, and there's a lot that you have to look at when you're doing this type of work. You know, I mean, it's fun to change the colors of the pipe, you know, change the size of the pipe, and get the GPM, how many, you know, of each flow and what the fixture units and all that kind of stuff. But most of your work is going to be editing, and it's going to be, now, how do I get this pipe from point A to point B, or in other words, routing, okay, and how to maneuver in the architecture space. So I want to point that out, because that's why I'm doing this sample drawing, this project that comes with Revit 2024, and it's helping me. I know that. So, and I hope that it's helping you too. So, okay, guys, I'm gonna stop here. I hope that helped, and I will talk to you guys later.